Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
I think what we're looking at is how our spiritual practice impacts and influences our experience of me and us, and the distinction between this. Well, Puja Swamiji, I remember we were opening a community center many years ago in Pittsburgh in the United States, and in giving his talk, he said, community means come unity. Come unity. So when the question asks about the aspects of community in spiritual practice, well, spirituality is the experience of union. I mean, the word yoga literally means union. Now, in community, we tend to think of it much more as just lots of people living together or working together or praying together or eating together. But really, that unity is much deeper. And the potential impact of that unity is much more than just people I like to eat with, or people I like to work with, or people I like to pray with. And so if we really can get into an experience of unity, of oneness, then what happens is we literally become one with the creation. And ultimately that's what spirituality is. The word spirituality doesn't imply any particular religion, any particular path, any particular rite or ritual. Spirituality literally means, as I always emphasize, of the spirit, pertaining to spirit. So spirituality is the opposite in terms of life focus of materialism. Materialism says this is all there is. This is the truth. This physical body, this is the truth. Who are you? I'm this tall, I weigh this much, I have this color skin, my body is, a particular year's model. It's been degenerating systematically for that many years. It's of this color. It was made in this particular factory. So, for example, I have the Californian 1971 model of body, right? But that's not who I am. In the same way that if you had a 2017 model of Honda that you drove, that wouldn't be who you are. If somebody said, who are you? You wouldn't say, oh, I'm a 2017 Honda. But to say, I'm a 1971 California model is pretty much just as silly as saying I'm a 2017 Honda. It's a vehicle. Like your Honda's your vehicle, so is the body a vehicle. But the materialist perspective says, this is who I am. Which of course separates me from others, because if I am my material body, everyone else is their material bodies, which means that everybody else is just a different model of body. Some are the types of models that we look at and we think of as, the fanciest Mercedes that everyone would want. Some are the models that we look at and we think, oh God, I wish I were driving that car. I wish I had that model. Some we look at instead and we think, oh, thank God I don't have that model. But what we've done is relegated everyone to the object of their vehicle. Spirituality is the opposite. Spirituality says no. Matter exists. It's not that matter isn't real, but there's a difference between real and true. So, yes, it exists. Yes, my physical body is here. Yes, if you cut it, it will bleed. If you drop it from a building, it will break. But that doesn't mean that it's the truth of my reality just because it actually exists. Who I am is spirit. And so what spirituality is simply the focus on spirit rather than the focus on matter. We acknowledge matter. We appreciate it. God has made the world in such a beautiful way. Why not appreciate it? I mean, we go to museums, we go to art galleries, and we appreciate a painting. Why not appreciate the creation? But just as we don't identify with the painting in the art gallery, there's no reason to identify as the beauty of this creation either. So that's what spirituality is. And when you think of community and me and us, in that, well, the minute I shift my perspective from a material perspective of me to a spiritual perspective of oneness, I've automatically become part of a community. It's a global community. You know, the best that most of us can do is identify as a community of our church or our temple or our tennis club or our, condo association or whatever our community may be. But the highest experience of community is really that unity. And sure, we have to start somewhere. Start with your neighborhood, no problem. But don't end with your neighborhood. So once you've had the experience and the ability to unite with that neighborhood, expand it. Begin with your family. Can you at least unite with those in your home? Can you at least break the borders and the boundaries between my way, your way, and our own homes? Let that be our first community. Because for most of us, that's the first place of disharmony. If you bring people in, that's usually the stuff that bothers most people. Most people are not deeply, deeply psychologically bothered by what some random person in some other country is doing. It may upset us when we turn on the news or if we see something online, but we're able to let it go in a way that we're not usually able to let go what happens in the four walls of our house or in the four walls of our office or in the four walls of whatever we consider our closest community. So we begin with that. And then we slowly expand our experience of that as our unity increases. And that's what spirituality is. So they're crucial aspects of each other.